everybody's just drunk and throwing mini trash cans.
Hopefully they put. What if they put their beer in the trash can, then they throw it?
Oh shit.
Okay, we went way off left.
Too much pot tar.
way too much pot tar.
And welcome back to another episode of Too Much Pod Tars. Today I have Kody Clawson on to cover our Red Sox episode of the 30 teams and 30 pods. And also later on the show, I'm going to have Jamie Gatlin from the Squirrel to talk more about the Red Sox as well. So welcome to the show, Kody.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So just to kind of start off the show, obviously the Red Sox are a big involvement with this whole cheating scandal. Alex Cora was a manager. Not a manager. He was a bench coach of the Astros in 2017 when that whole shit happened with the Astros. And he's one of the guys pretty much behind the whole thing. And then, he went to the Red Sox 2018 to manage them. And then now it came out like right at the same time that the whole Astros stuff came out, the Red Sox also were using stuff like video to cheat in their World Series championship year in 2018. And so then after that happened, Red Sox fired him. It was like the day after they fired him. So it's been a crazy, week or so of all this stuff happening. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on the whole thing, Kody, and what do you think is going to happen with the Red Sox moving forward?
It's been a whole gigantic whirlwind since this whole banging scheme came out. Can we use the phrase banging scheme on your podcast? Is that okay?
I guess. Yeah.
Somebody put that out on Twitter, and then I listened to another podcast where they just were running with the phrase and just leaning into it. And I was like, so good.
Yeah.
But anywho, Alex Cora's involvement with it was between the Astros and their whole trash can banging scheme, and then bringing that culture over to the Red Sox. It's not great. It's not a great look. Not good for the team. Not good for baseball. Twitter kind of exploded about it on Thursday, and just all this different stuff dropped with the possible mics and the buzzers and all these different things. It's not good. I mean, sign stealing's been a part of baseball for as long as baseball's existed, pretty much. So it's almost kind of hard for me and my brain to differentiate that. But the use of technology and trying to get an edge through recordings and all this stuff, and trying to just do this whole scale widespread cheating is it's baffling. It's unencouraging. It's hard to put into words how to feel about it, because especially when it's your team.
Yeah.
That's the part that makes it so hard for me, is it's like when it's another team, it's like, well, they're cheaters. What are they doing? That's not great. When it's your own team, you're sitting here going, is this how we operate? Is this how we're really going to run this?
Right. Yeah, it's like right now I'm like kind of I'm like feeling really good about it, because I'm a Yankees fan, so I hate the Red Sox, I hate the Astros, and it's like, okay, both these teams are cheaters, and I'm on like cloud nine with feeling about it, like how the Yankees, they have nothing to do with it, but what happens if all of a sudden the scandal goes even deeper, they find something else out that the Yankees were using, some kind of stuff like that. Like, even if it's not as broad as the Astros, what if the Yankees were somehow using it for their advantage? And then like I wouldn't know what to feel. I'm like, right now I'm like, I'm kind of like, all right, this is good, but now if the Yankees they find out the Yankees are using it, I'm gonna be like, okay, I don't even know what to think. I'm probably gonna be backtracking about all the stuff I said about the Astros Red Sox. So like, all right, now I kind of look stupid for trashing them so much. It's like,
Yankees Twitter's been on cloud nine the whole week. It's been pretty rough to see all that go on. They're like, yeah, we got Cole, and Red Sox can't do anything because of their payroll problems.
What do you think is going to happen with Mookie Betts? Do you see him being traded this season? Maybe like I feel like he'll end up maybe being traded at the trade deadline. See, like depends on what happens with the record. If they end up playing, not too well, I think they maybe try to move at the deadline. So I don't know what your thoughts are on it.
It's kind of a jumbled mess. I mean, before when I thought that John Henry was kind of the owner of the Red Sox was kind of looking at under the luxury tax or trying to get that reset so they could have a better path financially moving forward. I thought that was the goal at first, and so when there were rumors coming out that they were going to try to package Mookie with David Price's contract and move him out to, I think the Dodgers was the main team that they were looking at to do that with, and try to get some assets back. I was like, I could see that. That would make sense. Get them under the tax and give them a chance to reset and load up again on the next season. But now it's come out that John Henry doesn't want anything to do with the resetting the tax. He doesn't want anything to do with trying to cut payroll necessarily. He's ready to compete. He wants to compete now, and he wants to put the team in the best possible position to win for the next 5 years, he said. And when he's gone to his GM saying, that's what he wants to do, that's what the way he wants this to work, they're like, yeah, we've been operating from that idea the whole time. So I think in my best guess scenario of how this all works out, if the team goes into the year, especially with the roster kind of as it is, I could see them. I mean, they're still a fringe playoff contender. I think there's still a shot for them to get to the wild card game.
Yeah.
But if for some reason they end up just completely blowing it, like Sale has another bad year and Price gets hurt again, or any other of these things go wrong, they could be on the outside looking in and decide, yeah, let's flip Mookie at the deadline and cut our costs and see if we can get some sort of massive package back. But I think the whole idea of trading Mookie, in my mind, was if they got some out of the park offer from whatever team wanted to just overpay to get him, then they were going to maybe actually consider trading him. But I think that it's been mostly just talk, just what they could get. And when they realized they weren't going to get any kind of crazy overpay for him, they were like, no, this isn't going to happen. We'll just wait for the trade deadline and see if anything goes there. But I still think they want to hold on to him at all costs. I think that at the end of the season, they want to try to, extend him or bring him back, I guess I should say. Because Mookie's made his point pretty clear.
Yeah.
He wants to go to free agency. That's his whole goal. He wants to get as big a contract as possible. And honestly, when you're at the level that Mookie's been the past few years, that should be your goal, and that should be because that's your chance to really make some bank. I could see them maybe letting him go, finding some sort of crazy Godfather offer, and bringing it back to the Sox and being like, hey, this is what they're offering me, to match it. And the thing is, with the Red Sox ownership and the GM that's in place right now, I could honestly see them saying, yeah, let's do it. That's what you want. That's what they're getting you. That's what you want. Let's go with that. So I think that's where they're at with Mookie. And I could see them trading him on the worst case scenario where they're just like, we just need to reset the team. But I really think it would have to be like a Godfather offer from another team for them to consider really trading him.
All right. And they can, definitely use the prospects. Their farm system is probably the worst in the league. So I mean, they definitely need the prospects.
Yeah, Dombrowski did his job and did his best Dave Dombrowski impersonation by gutting the farm system and dumping every single thing he could to make a team that could win in 2018. And hey, we did it, but now we're paying the price for it.
Yeah, it seemed like he just had the mentality, at least if we win one World Series, it's all right. It's like not like with the Yankees, where the Yankees want to build a dynasty. It's like Red Sox just want to win at least one, and then try to move from there. It's like I think, what is it, like the last 3 times they won the World Series, the year after they weren't too good, just like last year, because 2007, I don't think they weren't too good in 2008. I don't think. And then,
they went back to the playoffs, but I think that was the Tampa Bay Rays year.
Yeah.
That was
Right.
They got shocked by the Rays.
Yeah, and then what was it? 2013, 2014. I don't think they made. Did they even make the playoffs? 2014. I don't think.
Oh no.
Yeah, but the last couple of times haven't end up being as good as they were. Even though they had pretty much the same team, they just, I don't know, something happened. They just kind of
Well, I was talking with somebody the other day where 2018 was like the picture perfect year for them as far as like health, especially on the pitching side. Everything went right for them pitching wise in 2018, and the lineup carried them, and they were able to win a championship. And the next year, they had pretty much the same roster, but you saw what happened. They finally had some pitching injuries and some mishaps, and Sale not starting the year well, and everything that went right for them in 2018 went exactly wrong for them pretty much, or especially on the pitching side of 2019. And they just couldn't recover from it.
Yeah. I mean, now even 2018 is in question because of, the whole cheating scandal. So it's like now maybe it had something to do with that too. Even though I don't know if they used it during the postseason, but they still, if they cheated during the season, they could have benefited from that to ended up having that many wins as they did. So
Absolutely. That could have been a part of the problem or part of the reason for their success.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they had a bit of a letdown in the next season. It's on the table now. It's absolutely possible.
Yeah, so moving into, the new manager search after Cora was, let go. Not really I think they have to at least soon to do it because we're about 2 weeks away from pitcher and catcher reporting, so they're gonna have to make a decision there. So I don't know. Who do you want to have as their new manager?
Well, they need to figure out something in fast now, and it's very unfortunate timing. It's not what you want as far as trying to figure out a replacement manager. Right. I've heard a lot of names shuffled around. If you ask Red Sox Twitter, I think everybody in the world wants Jason Varitek to do it, but I don't know if Jason Varitek wants to do it. So I don't know if that's the fit we should be trying to make happen or not. But yeah, I've heard a lot of different names too. Ron Ronicky, I can never say his name right. That name's been thrown around. He's the bench coach, so that's kind of the thought behind it, obviously. But I don't know if that's something that he wants to do, and again, especially on this short of notice. And I don't know if that's something that they're going to want to go down that road necessarily. They probably will ask them and see how they feel about that. But they have some names that they're comfortable with in the organization. Ronica being one, Carlos Gables, I think, was another name that they threw around. That inside of the organization, that if they have to go that way, that's a possibility. But it's a very sticky situation trying to figure out a manager like when you're 60 some days away from opening day.
It could be just somebody that fills the chair for now, like for this season, and then they find somebody else next season when they have more time.
Yeah.
Last thing we can go over is just what are your expectations for 2020, like record wise? Do you think they're gonna be in the playoff hunt at all, or do you think they're gonna be doing what we talked about, like with maybe trying to trade Mookie at the deadline?
I feel like the team health-wise, if everything goes well, this is still a very dangerous lineup. And still, if Price can get back to anything close to what he was before, the a front line of the rotation that isn't terrible. Eduardo Rodriguez, if he can kind of put it all together and actually have a full season, something close to what he finished on last year, would be a good third pitcher. I mean, they're not that far away from at least contending for the playoffs. And once you get in there, and whatever happens, happens. I feel like they're going to be in just about the worst situation for them, where they're going to be close to the playoffs the whole time, close to the wild card, but never really get there. But they're going to be close enough where they think they're competitive, rather than trying to do any kind of trades at the deadline. So once again, we'll go into next year with a loaded payroll, no way to lower it, and no farm system to help rebuild the 25-man roster. Right. So I think they'll be on the fringes the whole season, but I don't think they'll be getting to the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely fair to say that, and I definitely agree with all what you said. I think they'd be right there in the mix, the whole season, but just kind of falls short. And last year they had 84 wins. I think somewhere around the same mark is pretty fair to say, like 84, 85, maybe 86, something like that.
I felt like hitting anywhere between 85 to 90 wins is very, very, very possible for this team.
With Mookie Betts, if he's going to be traded, comments JD Martinez made him on the whole scandal and their manager search as they try to get somebody until before opening day, obviously. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see it all play out. See what happens with the rest of this. Rest of the Red Sox, like what's it called? My mind just went blank. Investigation. There we go. Yeah, what happens with the rest of the Red Sox investigation? What's that?
So they're banging scheme, but wait, theirs isn't a banging scheme. We don't get to have the fun nickname. It's a banging scheme.
I don't know, I guess we could just call it the video scheme or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to see. I'd say probably by the end of this month they're gonna have that wrapped up with the Red Sox. And what their punishment's gonna be. And obviously, Cora was fired already, so he's still gonna have a punishment. So see if it's going to be longer than Hinch, I think, since he's involved with the Astros and the Red Sox. I think it will be at least 2 or 3 years, if not longer.
I think 3 years if they don't end up just deciding to do a lifetime ban of some sort, although I think that's a little drastic and I can still see it being in the realm of possibility.
Yeah. And then you never know what's going to happen with, Dombrowski too. He's definitely he can end up being a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'd say probably by the end of the month, since they want to get wrapped up, they're definitely going to want to get it wrapped up before spring training. So
yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be interesting to look at to see what happens with that, and then we get spring training and pitchers and catchers report within I think it's like 20 some days. So I think it's 22 days from today that the first teams start reporting. So definitely going to be exciting here as we get rolling, start the season. So we're going to continue these podcasts as we go. We're going to continue with more next week. I'm going to be doing some more recordings and get some more out. So keep an eye out for more of the series and make sure you find the podcast anywhere you find the podcast and follow us podcast Twitter on pod_tar and also the Scorecrow at the Scorecrow, and myself at Alex Kielar, and Kody, yours is just Kody Clawson, right? With Kody with a K.
Kody with a K, Clawson with a
K. All right, and then thanks for joining in on this discussion about the Red Sox. So
thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and then obviously as we go through the season, hopefully we get you on here again for another episode at some point. So just a reminder, you can never have too much pod tar. I have Jamie Gatlin here on. He's another writer from the Score Crow. He's been on this before, but welcome back to the show, Jamie. As obviously you haven't been on here a while, so
yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, so the last couple of days, Mookie Betts has been involved with trade rumors with the Dodgers. Dodgers and Red Sox have picked up their talk about a trade with Mookie Betts. So I don't know. I guess I'll hear your thoughts on it first.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, as much as would hate to see him go because the caliber of player he is, I feel like it's inevitable. A couple days ago it broke that the Sox offered him $300 million over 10 years, and he countered with $420 over 12. And at this point, if they're that far apart, with free agency 1 year away, I'd rather see them trade him to a team like the Dodgers and get a package with someone like Alex Verdugo than just drag it out, trade him at the deadline when they obviously what they would get would be substantially less, or just have him walk for nothing in free agency.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. Yeah, like they would definitely get a haul for him. He would, if he's not going to come back and they're not going to pay him as much as he wants, they're definitely got to trade him and get like a big haul. Especially, Dodgers have some pretty good prospects there, as you said, mentioned there with Verdugo. So they definitely just strike now when they have a chance. But yeah, other than Mookie Betts, it's been a crazy offseason for Red Sox. As obviously they were involved with this whole cheating scandal. It came out that they were using some kind of technology in 2018, and then the follow of that was firing their manager, Alex Cora, and so that was a big thing. And now they're still trying to search for another manager, and then also the major leagues and Rob Manfred are still, going over and seeing what punishment they're gonna hand out. So it's gonna be interesting to see that, and hopefully they get it out before spring training. They get their punishment.
Yeah, I mean we were like a month away, and I know reports were that they're looking at Kotsay, but it doesn't really seem like they have a plan right now. There's really that many obvious options because a lot of people talk about Veritek being the manager, but he said he doesn't want to take on that role yet. And Dusty Baker just came off the board in Houston, so it's gonna be interesting to see what they do because their options are dwindling, and we're a month before the season starts.
Yeah, it's down to the wire. What are they gonna do? Like find somebody the day before opening day?
I'll do it. I'll volunteer.
Yeah, they're gonna end up having like some kind of like fan sign up to be a manager.
Hey, my qualification is I'll try not to get ejected that much, and that's all I can promise.
I don't think I'd be able to promise that.
I said I'll try. I'll give it an attempt, but
I'll try, but no promises.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, guys out there. I mean, Bochy's out there, but he said only come back if it was the perfect opportunity. And given what's happened with Cora, and the uncertainty with Mookie, this definitely isn't that perfect situation. So I mean, if I had to put a bet on it, I would say probably Kotsay, just because in every managerial search so far, he's been a name that's come up.
Mm-hmm.
So when that's a common theme, it's obviously he's doing something right for these teams. But we'll see. It's kind of, I feel like this is a good opportunity for Bloom in the sense that regardless of how he felt like Corey, he's the new GM. So this is kind of his way of putting a stamp on the team, regardless of how it plays out.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, it'll be interesting which way they go, and I feel like at this point it might be end up being like just like a placeholder manager for like this year, and then next year they'll find somebody else. Like just for now, they're gonna just find somebody as they, obviously a month away from the season, just find somebody for now, and then figure it out later.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that, especially if they trade Mookie. Obviously, they still have a very good lineup, and they can still be very competitive. But just coming into that situation, definitely it wouldn't be easy for anybody.
No, definitely not. I definitely commend Dusty Baker for the for joining into the Astros. It's definitely not it's even a hard situation there. So definitely not an easy decision for Dusty Baker to go there. But I mean, I guess he'll take anything at this point since he's been out of the major leagues for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fun. It's definitely probably. I mean, at least the first time I can remember them looking this late.
Yeah.
So. The division's gonna be fun this year too.
Definitely.
So, what's your prediction for how many wins is Cole gonna get?
I don't know. It's tough because pitcher wins isn't really that important. But I think he'll end up with probably around 20. I think honestly, 18, 19, or maybe 20, 21.
Yeah.
But I think he'll break 20. I mean, 200 strikeouts.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the him and Sale matchup. Those will be some.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be.
Nights.
But yeah, with the other teams in the division too, like the Rays. I think the Rays are going to be good again, and then obviously the Blue Jays too. They have some young talent there, so I think they'll be a tough team to face for everybody.
Yeah.
They won't be competing for the division, but every game against them is going to be tough either way.
Yeah, I like how the AL East is coming back to one of the best divisions in baseball, like it was in the 10 years ago, with the Orioles being the only team that's really not that good.
Yeah, we can just forget about them. Yeah, maybe in 5 years they'll be back, but not right now.
Exactly.
But yeah, as a Yankees fan though, I hope that the Red Sox can compete again this year, because I always love the Red Sox Yankees rivalry. That rivalry literally makes baseball it's the greatest rivalry, and maybe not even just baseball, but in all of sports, arguably. So I definitely need that back, and obviously when both teams are competing and playing up to the level that they 2018 was an awesome season for that rivalry, because both of them are playing really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think this year the Sox, I think that they're either gonna be really good or really bad, just because you look at guys like Sale and Price, assuming Price stays, isn't traded, and Evaldi, those are guys that are healthy. They've shown they can be really, really good, but to bank on that is a lot to bank on. As good as Sale has been, he has the tendency to break down late in the season. Evaldi, was stellar during the World Series, but doing that over a full season is a question. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it could be a dogfight again, because they definitely have, they have the lineup even without Mookie. With Devers and Bogarts, how they performed last year, and them re-signing Moreland the other day. So it will come down to the pitching, and if their bullpen can improve, because that was definitely their weakness by far last year.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely could see an improvement there. I think that last year was just kind of, I don't know really how to word it, but it's just it's not their work. I don't think that was their their normal how they would normally perform. I think they could definitely better than what they did last year.
I agree. I think kind of last year too, when Kimbrel left,
Yeah.
Dombrowski didn't really know how to replace that. And they kind of, mixed a bunch of pieces together, with Brazier going up and down and struggling the way he did. But I just feel like last year they didn't really have that many backup plans, when guys like Brazier struggled, when, Barnes struggled. So I think a lot like they have more solidified roles this year, and it's not kind of a game of musical chairs like it was. Then they could be, a lot better. Like Darwinson Hernandez was good down the stretch last year, but they're gonna need guys like Barnes, to step up.
Yeah, and I don't know. It kind of seems like they haven't really done anything to. The only thing they haven't really done anything to prove it though either, because they haven't. I don't think they made any moves really this offseason, so I don't know. Not sure.
Because most guys they brought in for the bullpen so far have kind of been waiver wire deals, So, I mean, those are guys that you trade for, crossing your fingers that they turn out to be something, which does inspire a lot of confidence. But with Bloom coming from Tampa, that's something that the Rays have definitely, been good at, or with their payroll, how to be better than anyone else in baseball. So cross my fingers that he can bring some of that magic to Boston. So we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely think you can find something like I said. I think it's last year was just kind of like a down year. They're gonna come back better this year. So
Yeah. They got to bring back Brock Holt too.
Oh yeah,
So,
he's definitely a solid bat in the lineup.
yeah, because I like the Jose Peraza edition because of his power, but Holt definitely hits for better average or gets on base more.
Definitely, yeah.
So
What do you think Chavis is gonna do this year?
I feel like he'll probably hit like 265, 270. They'll have a nice platoon with Moreland at first.
Yeah.
But I feel like the big question for him is, Pedroia had a setback a couple weeks ago, which really put into question if he can play this year. And last year, Chavez had some games at second. So he's kind of, I feel like he's going to be a Swiss Army knife in the type that is probably, he's played outfield too. So he might become their new super utility type of guy, kind of like Holt, but with more power. And I feel like he probably plays in like 130 games. I mean, he hit 18 bombs, I believe, last year. So he definitely showed the power that he had in the minors was for real. So I feel like he'll be a fun, he'll be a fun guy to watch. Bobby Dalbec is another guy for that infield that they might call up, who could make an impact too.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But other than that, it's like we touched on earlier, the bullpen is probably what's going to be the factor for them to be able to contend again. Like if they can improve the bullpen and not blow as many games like they did last year, I think they're definitely be in that AL East race.
Yeah. And Yankees and Rays. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Carson Smith is a guy too for people to watch. I know because he's a guy that when he first came over, he struggled. Last year he threw his glove into the bench and messed up his elbow. So but he's a guy that got from Seattle 3 years ago that they expected a lot from, and they signed him to a minor league deal.
Okay.
So it's kind of under the radar guy for the bullpen that could step up.
Yeah, I think it could end up being somebody like that, like an under the radar signing that comes in and like dominates and then helps to better the bullpen. I think that'll be somebody that can definitely do that. yeah, other than that, I don't know. What? Not really much else to go over, but I guess just in expectation. What do you expect from them? Like, what do you predictions for like where they finish the year?
I feel like with their offense, they're definitely still a 500 club.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be another 3-team race again. I feel like Toronto, they're too young to make a play, push for a playoff spot. But I could see the Sox getting maybe 85 to 88 wins. I want to peg them for 90 just because of all the question marks with the pitching.
Yeah.
And I mean, it'd be interesting because I feel like the wild card too. You have a lot of good teams. You have Oakland. Depending on who finishes first in the AL West. So I feel like if they could battle for a wild card, I feel like definitely divisions can go to the Yankees. So the Sox, they'll either finish in third behind Tampa, or they'll end up in the wild card game. And at that point, if Sale's healthy, I feel good about it. But we'll see. Because like I said earlier, their health is a lot to bank on. They're definitely a 500 club, but the playoffs will not be easy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think 85, 88 wins would be fair, and I think they do have a shot at making the playoffs again, like as a wild card, and they're going to be better than last year. I think they definitely have a good shot at making the wild card because last year, like I said, was kind of a down year. I think they're going to definitely come back stronger. They have the talent for sure. They definitely have the hitting, so I can see that. But like you said, the wild card is kind of tough too because the A's are in there, and then maybe even the Angels.
Yep.
The Rays. So it's definitely tough. And then honestly, I think the AL West might be won by the A's this year, and then the Astros could maybe get a wild card or even just miss the playoffs totally. So that could be your shot at the playoffs. Is if the Astros miss the playoffs, I think maybe the Red Sox and maybe Red Sox and Angels would be the wild card or something like that.
Yeah. That'd be a fun matchup. I'd actually love to see that.
Yeah. Mike Trout in the playoffs. Give me that.
Hey, with Rendon, that offense is gonna be scary.
Yeah, definitely. I hope they just figure out the pitcher. They haven't really signed anybody that much. Like they signed a couple. I can't think of who they signed, but they signed a couple just minor guys, but not really any too crazy that it's gonna. And I just hope they can get enough pitching this year that they end up contending.
Yeah, Trout more than anyone definitely deserves it at this point.
Yeah. Hopefully that happens because it's been too long.
Yeah, it's like what 03 or no, it was like 2002 or something. That was the last time they won title, right?
What? The last time they went to the playoffs was they made the wild card the one year, with Trout. Oh yeah, 2000. Oh yeah, it used to be in World Series because 2002 was the World Series, I think, or something like that. Yeah, 2000. Yeah, 2001 was Yankees Diamondbacks. 2002, I think that was Angel. Yeah, I think that was Angels. And I'm trying to think. I don't remember who it was. Well, obviously I wasn't old enough to really remember, but like I know as usually I can think of who the World Series was, but because 2003 was Marlins, Yankees, Marlins. 2004 it was Red Sox, of course, that won against who did they win against?
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Oh yeah. 2005.
Houston and the White Sox. Yeah, Houston White Sox.
2006 was St. Louis?
Yeah. I forget who they played though. St. Louis.
2007 was Red Sox again against I think that was St. Louis again, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh no, it's Colorado.
Oh yeah, Colorado. That was the last time Colorado made the playoffs or made the World Series. I mean.
Yeah.
And 2008 was the Phillies over the Rays. Well, from here, I definitely know all of them. From 2007 on, I know like every matchup.
Yeah. Then 09 was the Yankees beat Philadelphia, right?
Yeah. 2010 Giants over. Shit, no, I don't remember who they played.
Shit, yeah.
Giants.
Wasn't the Royals? That
No.
was
Royals was 2014 or 2015 actually. No, yeah, 2014. Because 2015 was Royals with the Mets. Yeah. And then 2011 was Cardinals over Rangers.
Oh yeah.
And then 2012 was Giants over to somebody. I don't remember who it was. Giant. Oh shit. 2013. That was you guys again. Damn.
We've had a decent couple of years here.
Yeah. And then 2014 Giants again. But yeah, it's been last decade was a good decade for the Giants. Damn. Yeah. 2015 was who the hell was 2015? I'm forgetting.
It was the Royals.
Oh,
that Royals Mets?
Yeah, that was the one with the Royals over Mets. And then 2016, of course, was Cubs Indians.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest Game 7 ever.
I know. That was wild.
That was awesome. And obviously, 2017 was cheating year. The Astros.
Asterisk year.
Yeah, asterisk year. 2018. I'll have to talk about that one.
To be determined.
2019 was obviously Nationals, which was also another awesome World Series. And 2020, we'll find out.
Feeling the Yanks though.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm hoping it's the Yankees. And then I think Dodgers have a good chance to go back.
Yeah, especially if they have Betts. Betts in that lineup, that's gonna be.
That's gonna be nuts. That would be crazy though if it ends up being like Yankees Dodgers and then the Yankees have to run into Betts again. Like, damn it, but we got away from him. Now we have to play him in the World Series.
Like, you can't get rid of this guy.
Yeah. But yeah. So I guess that's all the Red Sox. That's basically everything for the Red Sox. But
yeah.
Unless there's something else that we forgot. I don't know if we left anything out.
No, that's all. That's all the main ones. 2 weeks we might have, a lot more of the core thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, probably have a new manager by that point too.
Yeah, they're saving all the drama for February. It's gonna be a drama-filled month for the Sox.
And they're gonna do it on Valentine's Day.
If they trade Betts on Valentine's Day, I'm getting a pint of ice cream and I'm probably crying.
Oh my god.
But no, Tom Brady might leave. It's tough out here in New England.
Yeah. You're not actually a Patriots fan, though, right?
Yeah.
Do you but you don't really follow football as much, right?
No, definitely baseball more than
any
other sport.
Like, I obviously follow baseball more, but I'm really into footballs too, though. Like, I love watching football.
Yeah. Who are you picking for Sunday?
Definitely KC. Because I want Andy Reid to win his first.
Yeah.
So should be a fun one though. It'll definitely be a tight matchup.
Yeah. Actually, I'm feeling a touchdown. Like, be a touchdown difference.
Yeah. I think it's gonna come down to like a defensive stop at the end.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, the team in the lead they're having like a 7-point lead, and then whatever, I say KC has the lead, and then San Francisco's driving, but then they end up like picking them off or something, or a sack or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be something similar to like when it was Eagles Patriots. That's how that ended. It was obviously ended on the Hail Mary, but basically what ended it was the strip sack.
Yeah.
So it'll be something like that, I think.
I wouldn't be surprised.
If we get another shootout like that, like 52-49, that'd be awesome.
I would love that. As long as it's a close game, that's all I want. Just a close game.
But just not like last year. Last year was terrible. 13-30. That was awful.
That was as fun as it was watching the Pats win. That was probably the least entertaining Super Bowl that we've been alive for.
Yeah. I'd rather watch like every Red Sox game than do that and watch that.
That's how you know it's bad right there.
Really. Another episode of this 30 teams and 30 pods. And as we continue up until the season, hopefully get these done soon, like maybe before spring training, but if not, like at a couple weeks into spring training before the season starts. So
Yeah.
all those out. And just a reminder, you can never have too much pod tar.
Exactly.